welcome. My name is Debbie Kent. We are doing a preparedness class today on my favorite things, gift ideas for with preparedness minded for your family. When I was on my way home from Utah last time, I bought Oprah's magazine with her favorite things in it and was looking through it and found such fantastic things like 8 cookies for $55 and a biscuit mix for like $42. Made like 6 biscuits. So I thought we could do a lot better than that. So this is my idea of my favorite things. It's some of the favorite little gadgets and gizmos and fun things that have to do with preparedness for the whole family. So I hope you like the class, and let's just get started. So in Oprah's magazine, you can see it's lots of glitz and glitter and lots of fun things that are her ideas of favorite things. So my ideas are a little bit different. We're going to start out with some DIY suggestions because everyone doesn't have $85 to spend on 8 cookies or however, $65. So last year we did a class on mason jar oil lamps, and it was really fun. You can use a lot of fresh things. You put them in a mason jar and you just pour liquid paraffin that goes in like your oil lamps with a wick, and they burn for a really long time, and they're beautiful, and you can do them for all kinds of different holidays. I also found when I was looking at the internet this month that you can actually get an attachment for a mason jar that just screws on the top, and see right there, screws on the top, and it is this little section right here, and it comes with a wick that's longer that will go in your mason jar. I'll bet you that oil would last like a month if you burn it for 4 or 5 hours a night. It would last a really long time. And I don't know how many of you know about like the oil that you buy for that kind of oil lamp, but it stores indefinitely. You can store it in the heat, and a quart of it will last about a month if you're burning for 5 hours a night. So it lasts a really long time, and it's really cheap. It's a really easy way. Walmart carries it usually this time of the year, so it's a good place to be able to get it. Some other things we did was food in a jar, because it's such a great thing. It's good for your 90-day supply. It's good for everyday eating. We ate some of this already this week. Karen Tolman did all the baking for it this time, and we were sampling all of that stuff, so it was lots of fun. And they just look beautiful, and it's fun to be able to get them. There are books out there that you can get recipes for them. You can go onto Pinterest. It has a ton of free recipes. In fact, most of the recipes we're sampling tonight, these are what you're sampling. Most of the things you're sampling tonight we got from Pinterest. And you can also use your favorites. Now, make sure you try them before you decide to put them in jars. Because one of the recipes that we did really didn't work. Karen tried it 3 different ways, and so sometimes they just don't work. You've got to make sure that they work before you decide to give them to all your neighbors. Some homemade artisan bread. Tammy Crawley made our bread tonight, so you'll be trying that on the sample table too. I did a video on that last year. It's up on our website, and when you get the handout for this class, you'll have a link to that so you can go watch how to make your own artisan bread. It's so easy. You don't have to knead the bread. It mixes in like 3 minutes, and you let it sit, and then you can make bread that looks just like that. We also have some sauce, that's some dipping sauce over there that's called Suzanne's dipping sauce, because my friend Suzanne made it up. And so you'll have that to try too. But my daughter does this every year for her Christmas gifts for her workers. She works, or her co-workers. She works at Nordstrom's, and they look forward to and want to work the day that she brings that in because they all love it. So the break room gets it, and they all get to go in and pig out on it. Another idea you can do is putting together a clothes washing kit like this one. It has pretty much all that stuff in it. This bucket has enough laundry soap in it for 3 years, doing laundry for 3 years. And I've got a clothesline, pretty much everything that's up there I have in here. So they're not hard to put together. They sell for about $80 if you buy one put together yourself. This is probably the most expensive thing in the whole thing. I also have, what I forgot to bring it, I have a washboard that actually decorates my kitchen wall. So that is part of my thing, and I also have another bucket. But we're not doing the washing class tonight. We're just doing the gift class. So the washing one. But it's really easy to put together, and it's really nice just to have it all nice and compact and ready to go for when you will need to use it. You can do a potty kit. I also did not bring that, but it's just I like the 6-gallon buckets because they're a little bit taller and easier to sit on than the 5-gallon buckets. I have the toilet lid that snaps on the top. I use trash compactor bags in mine because they're thicker than regular trash bags, so they're not as prone to breakage. And then I've got toilet paper and sanitizer. I have a lime powder that you just get at the hardware store that you can use to sprinkle over your deposits in the toilet so it doesn't smell, and it also helps break it down. So I've got all those things in my potty kit. You also can get, these are new, I just found these. I've seen these like them, but they took them off the market for a while. So this is called a pop-up pod. It's just like a pop-up dressing room that you could use for a portable toilet, and you can stake it into the ground. And because who wants to go potty in your front yard? You know, you want to have some privacy. But you could use it for a lot of other things too. For the younger kids, so I have a grandson who's 4, and I had ordered, there's a company called UV Packlight that these come from. So this is called a Scout Kit. So it comes with this big flat one, 2 rechargeable glow sticks, and a rechargeable glow necklace, and one more thing that I can't remember what it is. So all of those. So all you do to recharge these is seriously take them in the sun I walked out today, I literally was holding one of these, walked out to drop some off to charge up, came back in the house and it was completely glowing. So they charge really fast. You can use sunlight, you can use lamplight. You can see I've had a little thing laying on this, but you can see how it's glowing. So my grandson was there when it came in the mail at my house, and he commandeered my glow-in-the-dark necklace, and he wears it all the time. My daughter said, so I called her and asked her if she could get take a picture of me with him wearing it so I could have it so you can see. And she's like, he can't find it. He was under the covers reading his book with it, using the light from it to look at his book instead of going to sleep last night or the other night. So anyway, it's great. It's unbreakable, and they will charge indefinitely. They never stop charging. So they're really, really good to have for, especially for kids. Something else for the grandkids I have actually for everybody in my family we have these. So I took glow sticks and I just put sticky Velcro on them and then obviously this isn't stuck there, but it's stuck to my my headboard, and then this sticks to it. So if there's an earthquake, this isn't going flying anywhere. I can reach up and get it and break it and have light. I do have a flashlight next to my bed also, but it's in my dresser, and my dresser could tip over and it would be a little bit harder to get it. So this is a super easy way to be able to have light where it's not going anywhere next to your bed. Something else I have in his kit is bought my 8-year-old grandson a little day pack because they go backpacking up in the mountains in Utah all the time. Well, the 4-year-old's now getting big enough that he wants to have his own backpack. So for like $17, I found this backpack on Amazon last night. It has a built-in water bladder in it so he can have his own water with him. And I'm going to be putting some things in it, like one of these are called 5-in-1 things. Normally you unscrew this and you put waterproof matches in it, but I'm going to put some candy in it so when he's on the trail have something to snack on. It's got a whistle, it has a compass which he won't use. It has a match striker thing on it. They can hang it around their neck, and it also has a signal mirror in it. So you can buy these for $1 or $2. FYI, when we send out the information for the class, I'm going to be sending you a paper with links to everything that I'm showing you tonight so that you will know where to get it and how much it is and what it's called and all that other fun stuff. So that's that. Something else he'll have is a little mini first aid kit. Now, these only cost about $1 or $2. Online, they're $3, but you can get them, I think, at Target for 99 cents. And they have a bunch of stuff that's not really that useful, but I replace it and put other stuff in it. So long story short, I made one for my one of my boys who hikes a lot, and I put a little first aid to get together with moleskin in it, which he didn't even know was in there. Him and his friend decided that they were going to walk a marathon one day, and not training for it. So they went walking, and within the first like 7 miles, 2 of them got blisters, and he pulled that out, and that saved them so that they could hike the rest of the way. So just a little tiny, thing. And then I also bought him some kid headlamps for like $8. So great things for kids under, younger kids. Oh, so do you know, any of you know what this is? This is called a gizmo. It's actually a watch for kids that is a phone. So he can text and call. But he only can text and call the people that his mom approves. So he only has family members that he can call and text on things. So if he gets sick at school, he can call his mom and say, hey, I'm sick. He doesn't usually do that, but he could do that. They mostly got it for him because he has a lot of neighborhood kids, and they never could find him when it was dinner time or whatever, so now they can just call him and he just comes home. But it's really handy. I think they're free. You only can get them through Verizon. The watches themselves cost about $80, but the service doesn't cost anything for them. So anyway, and it has a GPS in it, so you can track them. All right, so for the teens, they were a little harder to find things for. I put watches on them because a lot of them don't have watches. And if things get really bad in the world and for some reason we can't use our electronic watches anymore, that would be a way that you would be able to say, hey, I need you to meet me by the old oak tree at 6 o'clock, and they would be able to tell when that was. Also bivy bags. A lot of this stuff I actually would put in my grandson's little backpack also. So bivy bags are just like the little Mylar blankets, but they're the updated version. So they are more like a sleeping bag. They're sealed up on 3 of the sides. They come in all different sizes. This one is just like a regular size, but these ones are a little bit more fancy. This one is actually one that is breathable, so when you're in it, you don't get all sweaty. But it's like $50, so it's a lot more expensive. But they do have a lot of different options with those, other than just the little cheap, I used to call them astronaut blankets. So anyway, yeah. A little radio. I picked up this little transistor radio that works for like $5 on Amazon. So you can get them really cheap, and it's a way for them to be able to listen to the news and see what's going on. Once again, if their regular phones are not working. It's a perfect time for teens to get them a good tent. Sometimes when you're going camping as a family, or if they're in scouts, they don't necessarily want to stay in the same tent as mom and dad, so it gives them a little bit of freedom. And get them something that's actually going to keep them dry if it rains. Like, don't get the little $50 ones that are going to leak when it rains. You want to get something a little bit better, and it's something that they can carry with them as they grow older and leave home. Okay, this is one of my fun little things. This is called, this is made by Luminate. And it's a lantern. So it is solar. So I just set it out in the sun and it charges. I charged it up the other day and it was on all night from like 4 in the afternoon when I turned it on until when I went to bed at 3, it was still bright like this. So it has a high, a low, and a lower, and a flashing. So all different things. It also, because it's inflatable, you just can deflate it and you can see it. I can't get this thing out, but you can just deflate it. And it makes a nice little compact thing. So really small and easy. But it does light up a room enough that you can see and read, and it's kind of a cool thing. They also, the new ones, they change colors. I think there's 8 different colors that it changes. So for a teenager, especially for a girl, it would be something that they would think would be really cool. And it's a good little preparedness item too. All right. Lastly, I have a portable phone charger that I use all the time. And I know lots of times children, especially teenagers, will tell you, oh, gee, my phone went dead. I couldn't hear you call me. I couldn't call you and let you know I wasn't going to be home late. Well, if they have a little portable charger that they have with them, they will not have that excuse anymore. So these are, you can get them really cheap. They have ones that are half this size. This one just will go for 2 charges, but they have them that will just do 1 charge. And Costco this time of the year, you can usually pick up a 2-pack for like $10 or $15, so they're really reasonable to be able to buy. Okay, I think that's all for our teens. On to the young marrieds. I was young and married one time, and I had 2 kids that got married within 3 months of each other one year. So we had lots of things that we did for them when they first got married for their Christmas presents. One of the things is keeping in the light theme. We had, the glow stick stuff and the lantern. Now we're going into the young marrieds. There is a lantern out that's made by Rayovac that only costs like $14. It takes 3 C batteries, or I think it's C batteries, and it will burn for like 6 nights. 6 nights you'll be able to use it before you have to recharge it. So that is a really nice thing for them to be able to have. One of the cool things, which I'm going to get to in a few minutes, I'm not going to tell you my little surprise that I found out. Something else for the young marrieds is I found this I think it's really good. I don't have one. I'm ordering one for myself to be able to check it out. But it's an emergency radio that can listen to the weather stations and to regular stations. You can recharge it solar or with batteries, and it has a crank on it. It has, I read lots of reviews on it, and it sounds good, it works good, and it holds up really well. And it only costs about $30, which is less than half what you usually find these kind of radios for. So I'm excited about getting that. I got his and her, because you need 2, right? His and her 5-gallon jugs, which we have down there. That will hold about 5 days worth of drinking water for them, and they're super easy and easy to store. Just a basic toolkit. Every young couple needs to have that. I happen to have a little basic toolkit just for me at my house because my husband has tools, but I never can find them. And so I have tools that I know how to use in my own little kit, and it's really good for young marrieds to have that too, so they're able to, fix some of the things. And I really like that little kind of carrier thing rather than sometimes you can get the cool toolkits where every little tool has its little place in it, but I like this kind better. So that's why I chose this one. Also, the just add water kind of meals are perfect for young marrieds. Most of them, they're both working, and so coming home and being able to just throw something in a pot with some water and heat it up makes it a lot easier and less stressful for them when they're coming home from work. And just for fun, throwing them some movie tickets so they can go out and have some fun. Usually their money's really tight. Okay, young marrieds. Now, for the guys. See, I hope you're going to be so excited about this stuff. Okay, so blast match. I said it backwards. Blast match. Have any of you heard of those before? Okay, 2 of you, because you've been around me for a while. Okay, we found these up in Utah at a place called Wiggy's, where we bought sleeping bags. But these are cool. So most fire starters are the traditional, you have the little rod, you have a knife, you have to scrape it, it has to catch the fire just right. And we've been watching a show called Alive where they take 10 people and put it in the middle of nowhere with nothing. I mean, they have no food or water, so they have to find food or water. And I think they get sleeping bags. They do get a few things, but they see how long they can live. So they all have the little regular rod with the knife. And I'm watching them and their fires are not starting. And and they know what they're doing. These are survival people. This is really cool because all you do is squeeze the little tab that's on it, and the tab rubs against the rod and it makes sparks. And so I'm not doing it in here obviously, but I did do it in my bedroom today on the tile just to make sure it worked. So all you do is push it down, squeezing it in, and it makes sparks like that down at the bottom. Super easy to do. Even if one-handed, you could use this to make fires if you needed to do that. And I think it's really cool, and it just folds up like this into this nice little handy-dandy little thing. I also was including with that some DIY fire starters. Pinterest is full of fun little fire starters you can put together. These ones happen to be made with smelly wax, and so they smell super good. They make my car smell really good when I'm in there. But all these is little cotton makeup removal bars, and I just drizzle a little bit of melted my melted wax when it doesn't smell anymore over it, and then I can just put my blast match right on it and it will start. And the wax gives it an extra long burn so that it can help get bigger things going and roaring and burning good. But there's a lot of different ways you can do it. So if you just go on Pinterest and do fire starters, you will find all different kinds of things that you can do. And I've done a lot of them, but I like these ones the best. So a knife sharpener, which we have a regular one in the kitchen, but I really liked this one because it does both steel and ceramic, which I think is really cool. And it would just be really nice to be able to have nice sharp knives. At my house, we tend to just go buy new knives. So I really like the fact of having one. And it's not, I think it's like under $20, I think. It's not very expensive. You can go to the super deluxe model, also by the same company. I, however, wouldn't know what to do that. I'd have to start watching YouTube videos to learn. So, but if you know someone who really likes that, having the bigger one is better. I put the dehydrator in with the guys. Why? Because you can make jerky. Guys love jerky. So there's actually 2 models now of the Excalibur, which is my favorite dehydrator. There's this one, which is the 9-tray one. It has 15 square feet of drying area. It is the best dehydrator on the market. They also have a 5-tray one now that's only like $120. In fact, Walmart is even carrying them now. So I don't know if it's just online though. But it only does half the amount of food, but it works so much better than the other ones. If you're gonna get a dehydrator, you wanna get one of these. If you're planning to do jerky or things that are really small, then you also wanna pick up some of these Paraflex sheets. I have a link on there for those because the ones that I bought work great, and they were only $11 for sheets for all of them. Some of them are $11 for one sheet. So you can do fruit roll-ups on those, anything that's, liquidy. You can dehydrate weird things like broth on it if you want. So all different kinds of things you can dehydrate in dehydrators, but it's a great way to add to your food storage and add to your regular everyday kind of cooking. A lot of the stuff we did in here was done with dehydrated stuff. All right, so this is the fun part of the guy one. Okay, one of the holes that I've had in my preparedness program was I needed to be able to recharge batteries. You cannot buy enough batteries to just keep your house. Batteries do store a whole lot longer now. They store most of them for 10 years. But still, I wanted something that I could be able to recharge batteries. I had the rechargeable batteries themselves, and it actually comes with a charger to plug into the wall, but that didn't help me if there wasn't any electricity. So I started doing research this week, and I found the coolest little solar panel thing. It totally folds up into only this big. It's 21 watts. Most of them, small ones like this, are 10 or under. And I put it out in the backyard. Something else cool about it is it has a pocket that has 2 USB things already built into it. So anything that you can charge with a USB port, you can just plug it right into here and charge it. So I charged my phone and one of my tablets in under 2 hours, and my phone was dead. So it works really, really good. And it's only $57.
Is that tabs that you can hang from a backpack?
You probably, yes. See how it's got these little things on it? These little tabs on it? You could. This one's kind of heavy for somebody who's backpacking for a long time. They do have some smaller ones that are built specifically for backpackers, but you definitely could do that. So some of the things I found to go with that were on Amazon. Almost everything I'm telling you, I bought off of Amazon. I am loving shopping on Amazon because I have Amazon Prime. So I'm not paying for my shipping. It comes in 2 days. Almost everything is at my house in 2 days. I ordered this, it was there 2 days later. So that's how I get, almost everything you're getting is from there. So my little handy dandy other regular solar powered thing obviously would not fit with this. But I did find only one, and it only does 2 batteries at a time, but it will do double A's, A's, and C's, and it has a USB port already attached to it, so I can just plug it right into this and it will charge 2 batteries at a time. A lot of the new battery chargers are so much better than the old ones. The old ones, they would overcharge. You really had to watch them. These ones, all the new ones that I've seen anyway, have things that they will stop charging. If one battery's more low than the other one, it won't charge them the same. It'll charge one, when it's done, it like shuts that part off. So I went on again last night to see if I could find one that had more than 2. And Goal Zero, which is a company that does a lot of solar stuff, they do displays at Costco sometimes. They're pretty expensive. So this one was like, I think it was under $10 for this. But the one that Goal Zero sells is, I want to say it's around $40, but it will do 4 batteries.
That's
And
with the batteries.
huh?
The
Oh yes,
charger itself
it is with the
14,
batteries.
But it comes with 4 batteries.
Right, that's true. It does. So talking about the batteries, one of the best companies out there is a company called Enlope, and Costco sells their rechargeable batteries really cheap. So this came in a little case. It was like, I bought it on sale. They had it on special. It was like $20. Super cheap. Normally, rechargeable batteries are about $2 a piece. I think they were about $1 a piece when I bought them. Okay. One other thing that I got, and this I got from Buy and Tolman, it's a rechargeable light bulb. So I can plug this right into this. In fact, I did. I plugged it in here and charged it up. And then I can just turn it on and it can do 2 things. I can just turn it in and it can use my electricity to light, or I can charge it and flip the switch and it will just work off of what's on the rechargeable battery. It can hang, it can go in a light bulb, so it has a lot of little interesting things. It actually comes with its own little solar panel, but I think it's only like 3 watts or something. So it will charge, but it takes a lot longer than this would. The more watts you have, the faster things charge. All right, for the ladies. She got a Barbie. I would not be that happy with a Barbie. Okay, she must have been a Barbie collector. All right, so we talked a couple months ago about everyday go bags. So men, get your honey an everyday go bag. I found this really cute one. You're gonna get the link for it. Comes in different colors. Was pretty inexpensive, and it's about the same size as mine. A lot of them were smaller, so I had to look through a lot to find it. I talked to you about these before, but for those that you weren't here, this is my backup. This backs up all the data on my computer. So this backs up all my files, all my pictures. I found one, I forgot how much this one costs. I couldn't find this exact one, but in 10 minutes I can back up everything on my computer. And so my computer, I'm using Karen Tolman's computer because mine died when I was out of town about a month ago. And luckily, right before I left, I had just taught a class on Thursday. I left on Saturday. I backed up my computer Thursday morning before I even came to the class because I lost a class one time that I worked very hard on because I didn't have it backed up. So now everything I back up on here. So all my pictures, all my grandkids, everything that I take on my phone or that I do on my computer is backed up on this little thing. And it goes in my go bag with me wherever I go. So if my computer dies or is stolen, I still have access to all of my information that I want. These don't cost that much. They're under $100 and they are really cool. I mean, you can use anybody's computer and have access to your stuff. That's what I've been doing with Karen. I plug that in and I just use everything on here so it doesn't bother her computer. Okay.
How much does it hold?
The one that I gave you is 2 terabytes. Probably more than you would ever put on it. Mine's not even a terabyte. I don't even know how much mine is because mine's like 5 years old. So they didn't have terabytes back then. And I backed up everything on mine and I have 25% of it used. Okay.
What are they called if you look for them on Amazon?
They're like external portable hard drives or something like that. All right, these little things. I told you about these last one too. Didn't I bring one?
Yeah, right
You
next
see
to
it?
the, yeah. Got it.
Okay, so this is I like this one even better than mine. So I plugs into one plug when I go to my daughter's house or I go to a hotel, plugs into one plug and it gives me 2 plugs and 2 USB ports for charging. Hotels for some have not caught up to the 21st century. So lots of times they have one plug that you can get to and it's not anywhere close. So I love these things. I think I found one for $5. So you'll get a link to that.
They'd be great on a ship.
Yes, they would be great on a ship. It's very handy to be able to have them. And they're pretty small. They're not super lightweight, but I use mine all the time when I travel. Okay, so a cool thing about this whole thing is how cool would it be if your wife put together her go bag and you surprised her with an overnight or a weekend trip somewhere. So I just did this one because it's cute and it was an ornament for Christmas. So I wouldn't necessarily go to Disneyland, but it would be fun. All right, so some other favorite toys. A wheat grinder, if you don't have one, that is a great place to start with your food storage. Most of you have lots of wheat stored. You're going to want to make something besides boiled wheat with it. So get a wheat grinder. This is one of my new toys. So this is it's a 3-in-1. So it does pressure cooking, rice cooking, and slow cooking all in one easy, handy thing. And it keeps my food nice and warm so I can take it places. The insert in it is really nice. It cleans out really good. I have loved doing it. And I'm really bad at cooking rice. And this I can put it in and you cannot mess it up and it keeps it warm just like the new kind of things. And I really like it because, in fact, I'm getting rid of my old rice cooker and I'm probably not getting rid of the crock pot, but I could because I don't have to have 3 different machines now. I can just do one.
You can also get additional inserts for them.
Oh, see? Additional inserts for it. All right, something else, and I do not have one of these yet, but I am planning to get one. How many of you have been to my classes where we talked about the Wonder Boxes or the ice box cookers? Okay, so Wonder Boxes and ice box cookers are like basically the ice box cooker is like an ice chest that you line with a blanket, you put hot food in it, you cover it with a pillow, and you close it up, and it cooks like a crock pot, but with no electricity. So it keeps cooking your food because it's so insulated. This does the same thing, but it's like the size of this. So you can bring your food to a boil or get it hot in the pot, and you put it in, and it's so insulated that it just heats everything up in that one little thing. Now, I have put off getting them because they're over $100. I'm like, I can do the same thing in my ice chest, so why would I want to spend $100? But it is really handy, like you're going to a potluck dinner, you can bring your food and it's going to stay hot the whole time. So they are kind of handy if you're to the point that you're looking for some new cool little gadgets. That is definitely one I would look into doing. All right, so my All-American favorites. This is sort of funny because these next 2 products start with All-American. The All-American Sun Oven, my solar cooker. I love my Sun Oven. They're running a special. You're going to be getting information about it pretty soon. This is what the special is. That's why I couldn't find a good picture of it. But this is what it looks like. So it comes with the Sun Oven and all these things. The pots that are stackable, the roaster. It also is going to have a turkey rack. And these are dehydrating racks. I cook cookies on them because you can do them 3 high. So all different kinds of things. I love my solar cooker. You can cook in it snow, wind, cold. You can do it in the wind, but snow. As long as it's sunny, you can cook in it. I also have my All-American pressure canner, which I also love. I use a lot of meat from Zaycon Fresh. If you've been to my classes before when I've talked about canning, I love Zaycon Fresh. They are cut out the middleman for meats, and the meats are really good. The chicken, the bacon is some of the best bacon I've ever had, and they only do orders like 2 or 3 times a year for each kind of meat, so you have to get in. But they're bulk buying. So when you buy chicken, it's 40 pounds of hormone-free chicken breast. It's super good, but it's a lot. So this is when you split with people. But that's what I do. It's when you're canning meats especially, the better the quality of the meat that you can, the better it's going to come out. All right. So stocking stuffer ideas for the mom. Some nice fuzzy warm things with the little dots on the bottom so you don't slip are great, especially for older women. These are, I don't know if you've seen these before. Costco has some. They don't look quite like this, but they have little things in the fingers, in the finger right here, so that you can use your phone and your iPads and stuff with your gloves on. So there's a lot of varieties out there. I actually bought mine from Costco. My grandkids even have them because they have iPads and they had them for them and they were cute, so I got them for them. Anyway, so yeah, that's a cool little thing. If you have a food saver and you don't yet have the lid attachments for that, that is a great thing to get. So you can seal your food up in these so that they stay fresh longer. Okay, older women, you're gonna love this. I just ordered one, I don't have it yet. I sleep with a little fan next to my bed, but it's electric. And if the power ever goes out for an extended period of time in the summertime here, I'm in big trouble. Or when I'm camping. I hate going camping in the summertime if it's warm because I'm just hot. These are battery operated fans. They're not very expensive. They have different sizes. These ones you can use rechargeable batteries in. I could actually plug this into my solar panel outside if I wanted to do that, and it would run. So I forgot how much it was. It was like under $20. Anyway, I love that idea. When I cook, when I'm doing cookies or muffins, I just did biscuits with this. These kind of big cookie, or what do they call these? Cookies. I call them cookie scoops. Is that what they're called? Ice cream scoops. Melon ballers. Okay, well, whatever they are, they're awesome. Your cookies come out. It's so fast to get your cookies out. They're all uniform. My sister still does it with 2 teaspoons. I'm like, no, you just get a cookie do. It's so fast. So I love those things. I did biscuits with them this week. I'd never done biscuits before. I'd done muffins. Because you know how muffins are so messy, right? When you're trying to get it in the little thing, you just scoop it up and plop it right in. No mess, no nothing. And the biscuit, it made perfectly shaped like biscuits that worked great. Anyway. Okay, how many of you have seen these? This is kind of new, and I don't have one yet, so I don't know how they work. But they're little tags that you can hook on your keys, or you can attach them to your phone so that you can find your keys in your phone. They have like GPSs in them. Some of them make noises. They all kind of do different things, but there's a lot. I forgot what this one's called. Tile. This one's called Tile. And so there's a bunch of different ones out there. I don't know which one's the best. I haven't done enough research into it to see yet, but I'm constantly leaving my keys in my phone places. It's like a joke in my family. Oh, Mom lost her keys in her phone again. I actually threw a set of keys away last year. It was a $250 key. I was not very happy. So having that would have been helpful. But they only work if you're fairly close, like within 100 feet. So you have to sort of know where you were. Anyway, that's all. So for the family, some kind of cookers. But we talked about the solar cooker. But this is a volcano grill. It works really good. Uses 3 different kinds of fuel with it. Getting a good tent. I actually own this tent. I really like it. It's a really easy setup. It will comfortably sleep 6. It's an 8-person tent. And it works really good in the sun and the snow. The heat and the snow. Getting some good sleeping bags. I found some for $60 that go to a 0, so 0 degrees. And I know those of you who don't know that much about sleeping bags, you might think 0 degrees, it would never get that cold. But 0 degrees just means you won't freeze to death. It doesn't mean it's going to keep you warm and toasty. So a 0 degrees means at like 40 and 30 degrees, I could be comfortable sleeping. So this one was a comfortable one. It wasn't a mummy bag. I don't really like those, and it was only $60. So light, we talked about some different kinds of light. We've talked about most of these already. I didn't show you this one. I have it here. So this is just the same idea. It's little. It's great for backpackers too. So it's solar powered. You can hang it on your thing. It doesn't take very long to charge. It unfolds into like a pillow that you blow up, and it diffuses the light, so it turns it like into a lantern. But it's small and easy to use. So I really like that. In fact, we had some backpackers that stayed with us, and I sent one with them because they didn't have anything like that. There's a whole bunch of different varieties of these. I brought one right here. I got these from Emergency Essentials last year on the Black Friday specials, which reminds me, if you are not already signed up for any kind of preparedness company or website, especially the food storage one, they all do Black Friday specials, and they're killer deals usually. So sign up for them. They will send you an email and let you know what's on sale. Usually they're only good for Friday. Some of them. Thrive stuff I know is going to be good for, I think, for a week. But I'm warning you with Thrive stuff, their stuff is not always the best deal. So you really need to watch and see what you're actually getting, not just because they tell you it's a good deal. And they usually have the stuff on sale, like the mixes that are a terrible deal. Never buy mixes in a can. All right, so these are cool because you plug them in, and this glows like a night light. No, this down here glows like a night light, so it lights up my hallway at night. But if the power goes out, the flashlight goes on. So you can find your flashlight in the dark. So it's a cool little thing. As long as you don't have grandchildren that like to play with them, which mine do. So I have one of these, and I have a room at my daughter's house, and I have one of those there. Okay, this is my crate deal. So I had looked into a couple websites sell 72 batteries, which they say is like a year's supply of batteries for this kind of lantern, that it would last you a year. But they run about $1 a piece, which is kind of expensive, but still I was willing to do it. Online Costco right now, I just bought a year's supply of Duracell batteries for $39. So almost half price of what I can get other places. And the shipping was free. So it's coming to my house. So it's a really good deal. Costco online, Duracell batteries. Go buy some. You'll have a year's supply. Okay, books. These are some of my favorite books. Over here. Well, you can see them all up here. I think they're all up there. Yes. So a couple of them are food storage books. The In the Bag, that gives you the idea of sort of like dump and heat foods. It's like everything that's in a jar or a can that you can just dump in and heat up. Is pretty interesting philosophy. The I Can't Believe It's Food Storage book is a great learning how to use your basic food storage book. Lots of really good tips and ideas. This one is called Prophetic Statements on Food Storage for the Latter-day Saint. It is a great book on why food storage is so important, using quotes from everyone. I don't know how many have read the rest of these, so I'm just going to warn you, some of these are going to freak you out when you read them. But they are possibilities, so we're going to talk about that at the end of the next class, about the freak out part. But for right now, Lights Out by Ted Koppel. I just bought it. I haven't read it yet. Byron Tolman. Are you in here, Byron? Byron's reading it. He said it's really good and has lots of information. This one is called 1 Second After. It's about an EMP hits the United States. Who does not know what an EMP is? Okay, good, you all do. Okay, so this book is about what happens to this small town in South Carolina or North Carolina, I forget where it was, up in the mountains there, and how they survive for the first year. He has one follow book that's already out, and the third one in the trilogy is just coming out. So I haven't read the second one. The third one looks more interesting to me. I might skip the second one, I don't really know. This one is by Cleon Skousen. It was very interesting about the history of America, how things came about. Super good. Make sure if you get it, you read the foreword. That's all I'm going to tell you. This other one down here is an LDS book. It is there's 5 books in the series. It's by Chad Daybell. It is the closest thing to what I think things might actually look like when things start really unraveling. It's very positive. There are hard things that happen in the book, but it's not like some of the other ones. I also brought this one called The Time Is Now. It's by a lady named Julie Rowe. She had a near-death experience and has 3 books out. This is the second of the 3. It's the one I like the best. It will freak some of you out, I'm just warning you. But I really believe in what the scriptures tell us are going to happen in the last days. A lot of the last day kind of books that you read, whether they're near-death experience books or whether they're novels, they're just fleshing out what's in the scriptures. So it's not a scary thing to me. It just sort of puts names and faces to things that could happen. And that doesn't mean that they're going to happen to all of us, but probably they will be happening somewhere in the world.
Yep.
Yeah.
What I like best about that one is it has a nice long evacuation list of things you should put together for all the stuff that could happen.
Yes. Okay. But only read this if you're ready for it. I'm just leaving it at that. All of these will be in the handout list. Okay. And then my book. For those of you that don't have it, thank you. For those of you that don't have it, I do have them for sale on our website. We're going to be running, and you'll get, if you're on my email list, you'll be getting the emails for that. We're going to be running specials that have some other things included if you buy them for family or friends or whatever. So if you're already on my email list for Store This, Not That, if you're not on that list, you really want to get on it. We've been doing a lot of free giveaways. We just did a Thanksgiving one with a bunch of recipes and ideas for Thanksgiving. We did another one, I can't remember what the one was before that. So we've been doing some other things that go along with that that will really help you in using your food storage. Okay, so that's the end of our favorite things class. I hope you liked it and you got some ideas for yourself or for your family members. I think Christmas is like the best time of the year to be able to get preparedness stuff. There's nothing better than combining Christ's birth and remembering that and being prepared for the second coming. So go forward, have fun, go shopping, and go eat the tasting table.